only costs 3 mana.
That's efficient.
Yeah, that is efficiency. He can cough if he wants to. You don't need to look at him like that. He's like, you barking at me, bro? You barking at me?
I feel like I should be able to cast this in town.
I know, me too.
I can't cast that.
But no, we can't. So now we have to go down a level. I don't remember when the next... Let's take a look at when the next quest is. I know those... Let's just go with... What are you doing, phone? My phone is currently doing stuff that I don't like. Yes, what I want to do is an Antioch Brackish Water Project. That's what I wanted to go to.
It took me 3 swings. I finally got you. But, yeah. But
You get me all the time.
it's not true. And I healed you. I'm just a really abusive friend here. I'm just like, I really like you. Let's hang out. And then I beat you. And then I give you band-aids. Wanna go get something to eat?
So the
Put some in that black guy.
the first group was Poisoned Water and the Skeleton King. The second one was the Butcher, Ogden's Sign, and Garbad the Weak. Group 3 is Magic Rock, Arcane's Valor, Halls of the Blind. And Group 4 is Zara the Mad, Black Mushroom, and Anvil of Fury. So we did the Butcher, which means I guess next would probably be... How do these groupings work? In Diablo 1, the quests are a series of missions, fewer in multiplayer, on which the character is sent, and which offer advantages when complete. None of them need to be completed, except the Archbishop and Lazarus and Diablo quest, which are key to finishing the game. Quests add background lore, details, and give more available items, even if only when reselling. Some quests appear only in single player, and those that appear in multiplayer are simplified versions of the single player ones. Quests that appear in single player alternate between different games to make better replayability. They are sorted into groups from which only some quests are given in the game. So we got the Skeleton King and the Butcher. So the next group will be Magic Rock, Arcane's Valor, or Halls of the Blind. Quests with the asterisk are available in multiplayer, though they are much simpler than the single player counterparts, as they do not have special levels. The Skeleton King appears on level 3, and the Archbishop and Lazarus on level 15 near the altar with the sacrificed child. So the Skeleton King and the Butcher are the only two that are available multiplayer.
Oh.
That's why we don't see them.
Oh, okay.
And which is why when I was doing my solo playthrough, I was like, where's all this stuff when I'm doing, when me and Dave are playing? Why can't I do this? How come I can't find those mushrooms? Blah, blah, blah. So yes. Okay, so that's all we were going to do, unless you want to go down and try to take on Lazarus and Diablo.
I vaguely remember there being mushrooms. But we didn't play a lot single player, so like...
Yeah, but in Denver, those mushrooms are fine, so...
Honestly, well, like, what... Do you want to attempt to go down and defeat the people on normal, or...
See, I don't know, because we wasted so much money last time doing it.
And Nightmare will be lucrative in a money and experience standpoint. And, like, gear-wise, it's going to amp up a lot more, and I think that it's going to be a...
I think it will be, too. I think our best bet is going to be to...
save these characters.
I don't need to save the options, just my character. Yeah, I'm working solo player with a rogue to get her to where she needs to be, in a better place than this one.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being level cap and everything is good, to actually just have a better leveled character. Because this character currently is leveled terribly. Yours is saved?
Yeah, I was gonna hit you with my sword, but you just... It's fine.
I just stop that from happening.
Let's just stop that nonsense.
Hey, I believe in a martial battle I beat you.
Yeah. No, you do. You absolutely do. 100%.
Once we start adding like magic, you may have a slight advantage.
It's the whole killing you by accident thing that I find to be the... Because none of it's ever intentional, but, like, it's so accidental because I'm just trying to do the right thing. It's my first goal is to do the right thing.
Make sure this is still on fast, and it is. Alright. Actually, I'm curious. If I do this, and I go to save options...
What does that mean?
I think it
you
means...
just saved options.
Right, I think that saves all of our, like, controller settings.
Oh. Okay.
So, I want to make sure that my inventory is set up. Oh, I have stuff to
You got stuff?
identify.
You got yourself a robe?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
That's not bad. It's not bad either.
I can't cast that.
Oh, what can I do for you?
What are you doing to him?
None of this makes any sense. I don't sniff your mouth.
Get your face out of his
I don't-
face.
I
That's
don't-
not okay.
I don't get inside your mouth.
That's not okay. You can just stay here and be fine. Or you can get down. Down. No, pay attention. Thank you.
I cannot cast that here.
Alright.
Alright, since I have money...
What can I do for you?
I feel like a tragically poor person. Like, I have money right now. I better spend it as quickly as possible. So also, this is a really interesting series of events that happened. I'm reading a book called Evicted.
Oh, what can I do
For all you wonderful people at home, I bought a new house, and the current studio that we're in is going to be put on the market as a rentable home. And as I'm reading this book called Evicted, I realized that I bought a house in the wrong area. I should have bought a house for like $12,000, and then still put it on the market to be rented for like $12,000, like $1,200 a month, and then I could have paid it off in 10 months. And it doesn't matter that those people who are forced to rent that 4-bedroom house that's pretty piss poor are losing their ass on it while I'm gaining $1,200 a month. But that's what the entire book Evicted is about. And I kind of had an idea that that's the way it was when about a decade ago, a friend named Joe and I inquired about a house that we were then renting, if we could buy it from the person who owned it that we were paying rent to. And he pretty much said, no. And we were like, but this house is like shit, you know? Like, there's holes in the wall, it's in a bad part of the neighborhood, like it's probably not worth very much. So why would you want to keep it? But the reason why he'd want to keep it is because he was charging us $900 a month to live there. And the mortgage for the house was probably like $200. So he was making $700.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, if you're charging that much, you're probably paying as much off the mortgage as possible. So his mortgage, by the time we were renting it, was probably free and clear. And he was just banking $900 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where this story comes more full circle, that was when I should have realized how that worked, but didn't, is the fact that I told my family members that I was going to put this house on the market for renting, and my aunt, who is a very well-off engineer, said that she... I can just take that trap. Her friend, I won't mention her friend's name, owns about a dozen properties. And I was like, oh, really? And are most of these properties in bad areas? And she said, how did you know? And I said, because it makes the most financial sense to do so. And I went on to explain to her how that works. Because now, if you were to buy a house in the Forest Hills area, how much do you think buying one of those houses costs? We'll say a basic one level.
We're talking basic one level.
Basic one level in Forest Hills.
Are you talking about just the total, like, price?
Yeah.
I I'd say
We'll place this house in the Forest Hills area.
maybe like 400,000.
About half of that. It's about 200,000.
Okay. Well,
But that's still double what I paid for it.
I was aiming. I had
You-
to be more expensive than what you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you're even 4 times. It's only twice as expensive.
Okay, only twice.
Yeah, which means that a house in Forest Hills, which is a very affluent, I like the word affluent. It doesn't sound like it's a derogatory term. We call it affluent.
No, of course. Not.
In a very rich area of the Grand Rapids greater area, goes for about $200,000. A small house, really, a bungalow, if you would. Now, where I'm at, which is about a half hour out of there, the house is roughly half that. I paid about $110 for this house, and it's Dave, nice house, right? Good,
Yeah.
decent neighborhood, nice yard, but still only half because of the area that I'm in. Now,
Didn't mean to do that.
it just so happens that her friend, we'll just call her Jay. Jay bought a house there originally to put on the market as a rental property, and she breaks even on it, even though she charges almost $2,000 a month to rent it. $2,000 a month break even on a house.
Huh.
Because the only reason why somebody's renting that house is so that they can be in the school district. She said for the last 2 years, a single father who got divorced rents the house and doesn't even live there. Literally just rents it because he would have to buy a house there otherwise, and he just doesn't want to leave the district.
Oh.
But the other houses, which are in Dave, you ever been to the bad part of Muskegon?
Yeah, I feel like I have actually.
That's where the rest of her houses are, and she still charges $1,200 a month for them.
Oh wow.
Now, the most expensive property she bought was $12,000. So literally after 10 months of renting it, the house was paid off.
Oh.
But she still charges $1,200 a month.
All right.
Then she took that equity, which is, obviously she's in it to make money, and she put it towards another property in the bad part. And she then paid off that using both the houses twice as fast, and then bought another. So she owns about a dozen property in the worst part of Muskegon, charges a ridiculous amount of rent for them, but people who live there have no choice.
Yeah.
And so they have to find the cheapest property they can. And the difference between living in Forest Hills, a really affluent area of Grand Rapids, and the worst part of Muskegon, how much was that difference, Dave?
I don't know.
It was $800.
Yeah. It's fucking.
To rent it's not. It's a difference of $800. To buy is a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
But to rent, it's a difference of $800.
Well, renting for $800, depending on your income, is a lot.
Well, for a lot of people, that's their SSI check.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we can take on this guy.
The butcher.
But when you look at relative to how much the property value is, that $800 is nothing. $12,000 versus $200,000.
Yeah.
If rents were level with mortgages, then you would be paying $200 a month to live in that one house.
Yeah.
But no, she charges as much to live there as, to live in your apartment, right?
There you go. Yeah, roughly.
So to live in, where you live isn't necessarily affluent,
No.
but it's definitely not the bad part of town.
No, it's not the worst.
But she charges as much to live in the bad part of town as you live in the normal part of town.
Yeah, that strip of Alpine it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just commercial. That's the only reason the spot would be for anybody, because Alpine North and South, you just end up getting dead end nothingness. But in that little area, it seems like it has life.
Yeah, it's funny. I was dating a woman years and years ago, and we went and saw a nationally renowned comedian who was fucking awful. And it was right after I moved out with you. It was right after I got into the other apartment in
Can't
Kentwood.
even read about Firebolt.
I wonder if I can.
I have no
Probably
room.
I have no room. And he was a national, so he wasn't from Grand Rapids. Riga? Plus 10 magic.
Dexterity and strength negatives.
You don't need those unless you want to use that sword.
Yeah, exactly.
And he must have asked somebody like where like the bad part of town was, and somebody must have said Alpine. Because in the joke, he's like, have you ever been like down on your luck and you're like walking down Alpine and you just like feel like, why am I here? And it's like, someone gave you bad information. You probably should have said Division.
Division would have worked.
Yeah. And we were right downtown. We were a half mile away from Division. So I don't know what his problem with Alpine was, but Alpine's not bad. Ooh, the Needler.
I remember that. Yeah. Alpine, when you get north on Alpine, it just turns into...
It turns into country road, really.
Country road,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
And
two-lane
then
country road.
If you go south, it's just like, well, you're getting into Grand Rapids, but just the part of Grand Rapids that, you know, it's I wouldn't say dead.
Well, you're getting to the north side, but, I mean, granted, when he made the joke, the north side was just emerging again. Have you been back to where the 4th Street house is?
No, not recently.
It's a fucking... It's crazy. Like... Those houses now are probably worth 6 times what they were when we lived there. Yeah. Because that entire strip where, like, I think it was Mojitos or something used to be.
Yeah.
And, like, where O'Kale's is and, like, all that's up and coming. There's the 2 breweries moved in there, Vivint and, what's the other one? Not Founders, because Founders is a little further south.
Do you want to do the butcher?
We can try it.
I can stone curse.
Just stone curse him. Just back up and let us out. There we go.
The spirits of the dead are now avenged.
Yeah, they are.
And that whole area is just crazy up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, it was so up that white people were walking not on the sidewalk.
Oh.
Like, they were just walking in the street because part of the sidewalk was closed. Oh, those guys hurt.
Not me who killed you. Whoop, that would have been, though.
Where would I put this?
These trash mobs are killing me.
Yeah, you're getting some flack. I'm up to 45,000 right now. God, man. Do we have another identifier? Garbage.
You really need that with your magical abilities that never miss. No, you need to be able to hit better.
Garbage amulet. This longsword's gonna be better. Fuck.
I have no room.
But when we lived there, I was never scared of like walking down the street
Oh no.
because I'm not racist.
Yeah.
But like there are times when I know like if you would have been dating Rose at the time, she would have been freaking out.
Yeah.
There were so many minorities. I probably shouldn't mention her by name. I would just give her a flowery name like Rose.
Yeah. I walked from that place to GRCC several times and felt fine.
Yeah, I did it every day.
Yeah.
I did it in the rain.
Yep.
I remember one day I got to my math class and the person sitting next to me asked if I swam in the Grand River. I said, no, I smell too good for that. There's nothing in here, Dave. I don't know. I don't know.
Why were we fighting over the door for that place? All right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. No. There we go. This way.
But Dave, I would appreciate it if you wanted to play on that Saturday game.
Okay.
And you can play whoever you want. You don't have to you don't have to be a support. You can just play more DPS if you want because of the way the whole game is set up. We're doing Kingmaker.
Okay.
And Kingmaker is a bunch of one-off battles. So really, usually a cleric isn't going to be that helpful because you're not going like between battles to heal up. It's like, okay, well, we have a day off.
Yeah.
So we'll just heal, or we'll just camp here for a couple days and take the random encounters that aren't going to kill us. Nothing here.
I'm intrigued. And how is Kingmaker different exactly? Like, what would I have to kind of expect as far as adjustments go?
Just level 5 character.
Okay.
Just gonna, yeah.
All right. Well, you said there's like modern things in it.
Nope, no modern yet.
Okay.
Nope, it's just basic Pathfinder.
Okay. Oh wait. All right.
Yeah. There's nothing special about Kingmaker except that there's, well, it's called Kingmaker because one of the characters becomes the king unless there's kingdom building. But I'm the Baron right now. I'm Baron Brennish, and I could use that. And I have a couple extra points. So really, I handle almost all of the kingdom building stuff.
Oh, okay.
So really, you just have to show up and play whoever you want to play as. Oh, there goes my one arrow.
That's enough of you guys. I need more chain lightning books. Oh my god. See, I need more of this.
I don't know why that one tried to shoot me, because I was on this side of the door, and it came at me.
He's not shooting. He's just standing there.
That's happened a couple times now, and I'm not going to debate why they're doing it. I'm just going to let them chill. Those traps do no damage.
Wow, that felt too easy.
Ow!
Well, that also felt easy.
I'm just glad you didn't go like crazy and do it a couple times.
I'm trying to temper my excitement with these spells. Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't have enough mana to do that. I'm almost out of health pots, so
Let's run. There's a lot of arrows.
come down around this wall where they can't see us. Yep, I'm out of health pots.
I'm officially out right now. I'm intrigued. I'm trying to do more with things. I wanted to upload a video this week, but like I said, I was just tired and stuff, and I was getting my ass kicked by the meta. So I was like, I'm gonna hold off. I need to do some brewing and brainstorming here.
You're getting your ass kicked by the meta.
Well, I was at the end before War of the Spark was released on Magic Arena. I was feeling very good about. Oh my god!
That's no good. That's wasted $99 on that.
But I was feeling really good. But now with the meta, my decks are, because I play best of one, so you're not building and having a sideboard. You're essentially trying to make it so that your decks are as well rounded as possible and it's hard to plan for all that. So, what's
I lose 9 on the max.
Look at your mana.
Oh, my mana drops in.
29.
Yeah, my mana drops to negatives.
29.
That's not worth it. So.
It's a nice, like that the ring blows, but I mean it.
But it's indestructible.
Yeah, and it's a grand. It's fine.
So they should definitely make everything out of it. Hey, you have a full health pot, just in case.
Yeah, I picked up mine. Actually, do you want it?
No, I don't want your throwaways.
It's essentially a throwaway. That's fine. So I want to regroup. I got to edit some of my decks. I've made some decks that are new with it, like the one I made my video about with my best friends. That's fun. That's great. It's like all planeswalkers and Fibblethip. It's super good.
And what?
Fibblethip, in the game of Magic, I believe it might have been Return to Ravnica, like the last time they were on that plane before this past one. But basically, he was just a random character that they threw into a card. I think it was Totally Lost.
Okay.
He's a homunculus. And it Totally Lost just meant, like, it was, I think it was sorcery, and it just returned something to your hand. And it just was like, there's no vowels in his name. It's Fibblethip if you read it. It's Fibblethip. But he's just a homunculus who had a name. And with the meme culture and everything, everyone latched on to Fibblethip. And so Fibblethip was thrown into things, and they embraced it by making him a legendary. 1/1, who, when he comes into play, you get to draw a card. If he's targeted by a spell, you shuffle him back in your library. If he makes it to the battlefield out of your library somehow, you draw 2 cards. He can be quite a tool.
That's-
I like him a lot. So the idea is basically like you get a Tameo out, you just start putting stuff in your graveyard, and you look just for Fibblethip. And then you cast Fibblethip, and then Dominaria had a bunch of spells that you, like legendary sorceries, that you could only really cast if you had a legendary creature or a planeswalker.
Okay.
And they're super powerful. Like Urza's Ruinous Blast, you exile all non-legendary permanents that are non-land, of course, which is super powerful.
Yeah.
So with Fibblethip, a lone 1/1, you could be like Urza's Ruinous Blast, and everything goes except for Fibblethip. And so that was my whole idea with it. And he's just such an efficient card because people are like, I'd kill him. Oh, no, he goes back to my library. I make you sacrifice him. Well, that's fine. He gets shuffled back. It's great. It's super good.
Meta's interesting.
But no, that deck works fine. But some of my other ones, like my 1,000-Year Tithe, boy, that got dumbed down with all these planeswalkers. I get my ass kicked with that now. Oh.
Yeah. I'm not real. I'm feeling as if I need to take a deep look at where the meta is and actually stop my current buying nothing but alliance cards to try to fill out that just so I can be competitive somewhere. Because even in like normal games, I'm getting crushed. So
Yeah.
it's no fun to get crushed over and over and over just so you can get your 20 blue creatures out. Like,
Yeah. And it's the thing is like, I think probably the decks that I've run into are just like the amass decks where I'm like, it should be easy to kill one creature, but it's like a lot of elements are control, and you're just like, oh, god damn it. I'm not having fun, but I legitimately just need to regroup, and that's pretty much what I did this week.
yeah, I'm legitimately not having fun a lot of times. Like, because I'm all board control, you know? I just want to control the entire board and make sure nothing ever comes out and nothing can threaten me, and then it's like, I have planeswalkers that you can't get rid of because board wipes don't wipe planeswalkers.
I mean, there is a board wipe for planeswalkers, but like the Elder Spell, but it's so niche. Like, it's not something that you're gonna main board most of the time.
And you're usually not going to be, like, you're not going to be board wiping planeswalkers. You're usually just trying to get rid of one.
Yep.
And so, yeah. I could see, like, a couple times now, people have replaced their old planeswalker with the same copy, like a new copy of the same planeswalker. Like,
Yeah.
hey, go. Go.
She just was like, "What if I sit on this court?"
Yeah, no, she does that sometimes.
It was just a very calm, like, my butt goes here.
And she chooses that she's that kind of dog.
It's okay, I got everything. Oh, I should have bought more pots. I mean, eventually I'll get.
Composite staff, huh? Pick it up.
What?
The composite staff.
No. Oh, Elixir of Magic. Where would I put this? Want it. Unless you want the Elixir of Magic.
No, it's yours. You got it. You've picked up every elixir and used them so far. I don't see why we should stop that trend now.
I mean, that's true, yes. My lightning's been very effective in this level. I'm a big fan.
Oh, my bow's about to die.
Your bow?
Yeah, it's all right. My magic bow.
I mean, you want. If you don't want it, we can run if you don't want it.
No, we're fine right now.
They're fast.
No. Oh no.
Wow.
We were fine.
You want me to kill things, or do you want
Yeah, it's good. Those are horrors though, so they're strong. It's lightning. Then just resurrect me and.
Yeah, I got resurrects for days.
Oh, that's a very seductive pose. It's like she's posing for a photo there.